All right guys, what's going on? Today I'm gonna show y'all my 3 must-have rods. You know, we've been working on these Muse line of rods for a couple years now. Me and some of the other pros at 13 have had a lot of input in these, and I really feel like we threaded the needle on 3 of these rods. There's a couple things that I've never seen available from other rods where in this Muse lineup. So gonna kind of walk through these. Number one that I'm gonna start with is everybody's confidence bait, vibrating jig rod, chatterbait rod, whatever you wanna call it. And I'm gonna show you the rod that I prefer to throw it on. This is a 7'4", medium heavy, moderate fast. This is a new one from 13 Fishing. This is the Muse. All 3 of these rods are gonna be the new Muse rods, but almost all of us wanted a moderate fast tipped rod. This one has a ton of power. This is the Muse Black. You know, this one is gonna be for closer to heavy cover, grass lines, under docks, all that type of stuff. This rod has the power to move those fish, but it's got that moderate fast tip that makes it load up just a little bit better whenever those fish do bite that vibrating jig. Gives you a second to just kind of let them turn before you set the hook and get those fish away from the cover with that backbone whenever it actually does load. So one of the cool things about this rod, a lot of these Muse rods actually, you can see how big the butt section is. What that does is it gives you a better taper, so you can actually get that softer tip, that faster tip down here as it gets skinnier, as it tapers to a smaller, you know, part on the mandrel. It gets that softer tip, but it gets to the backbone really quickly on a lot of these rods. So this is the slowest rod in the Muse lineup as far as how fast it gets to the backbone. This is one that I have been blown away fishing for the past year and a half. Have not lost any on this rod in like probably 18 months. Have not lost one on a vibrating jig. So that's a big upgrade from what I used to do. So that's one that's kind of everybody's confidence bait. Everybody has a bladed jig tied on, but these other 2 are some that have not really been that available in the past. So this is one that I'm the most excited to be using for the rest of the year. This is a 7'6", medium fast casting rod. I don't think I've ever heard of a 7'6" medium fast rod ever, not casting. So I think it's really cool. This rod was designed for bomb casting with like 30-pound braids, small topwaters over schooling fish. If you want to bomb cast a 1/4 ounce or a 3/8 ounce, you know, jig head with a swim bait on it, 2.5 to 4 inch swim bait, this rod was designed for that, to not overpower those baits, but to have that extra length so that you can cast it a long ways and you're not going to bend those hooks. But one of those sneaky things that I'm going to do with it, I like that 7'6" length for flipping. And I have been flipping with a 3/0 hook, 1/4 ounce weights, 3/16 ounce weights, 1/8 ounce weights. Anytime I'm downsizing and I want to use a smaller bait, you know, middle of the day, the fish are getting pressure. We go to some fisheries where you got to fish behind a lot of boats. I think it's something that I've never had access to before, was flipping smaller baits with a 7'6" rod, because it feels way more comfortable to me. But this is the Muse Black 7'6", medium fast. Another really cool one. Plays off the same kind of deal. This is a 7'3", medium fast. You know, there's been 7'3" mediums out there forever, but I don't ever remember there being a 7'3" medium that was a true fast action. Seems like when you get to that medium power, a lot of times the action's a little bit more moderate, a little bit slower. I love throwing smaller baits on the 7'3" medium, especially this rod. It's my favorite, you know, 7'3" medium I've ever used because it actually has a fast tip. You know, I've been using this a lot for throwing more finesse power fishing stuff. I've got a prop bait on it now. Caught some in Florida just like this year. But caught some recently around bluegill beds, but I throw small spinner baits on it, smaller buzz baits on it. You know, if you want to throw a 1/4 ounce, smaller swim jig, all that type of stuff. This has been the rod that I've been using for that. Small jigs on it, skipping 1/4 ounce jigs and stuff around docks. Just downsizing and having a rod that actually is adequately powered for the bait that you're trying to use. I've never really had that many 7'3" mediums that actually fit the bill and I can actually cast well. So the ones I'm the most excited about are the ones they threaded the needle on, and it's definitely 7'3" medium, 7'6" medium, and then the ChatterBait rod. So, I mean, those are my 3 favorite rods right now.